this right back, Charlie's definitely. Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Because you always use that active red light defending. I think it's like.
Big up you lot, man. And again, let's spin this couple times, man. I've missed you lot. I know you lot have missed me. Let's have a good live stream. My voice is dead, but the show must go on. One more time.
Because you always use that active red light defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Shout out Ian Wright. As Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. I hope you had a great weekend. You know, Gooners, we won again, 4 wins on the trot. Let's see off the job against Aston Villa, confirm a superb August. And as I told you, look, I know we were a long time away from winter. I know it's starting, the nights in the United Kingdom are starting to get, you know, shorter and shorter. But I told you, you know, enjoy football, enjoy the moment. I know there's celebration police and all of those things. And I want to say my little tangent on that stuff, mainly just a plea to Arsenal fans on this celebration police, pardon my language, bullshit that they're doing. Only Arsenal fans can be criticised. I know Arsenal fans are mad. Only Arsenal fans can be criticised for winning in dramatic circumstances. You know, when Chelsea, who should have beat Spurs, no disrespect to Spurs, but it's more the media. When Spurs sit there and Basuma's there gassing up the fans like they've won a flipping trophy. Last couple of games with Man City have been filled with drama. Liverpool snatched the draw from Fulham. Is what it is, innit? There's nothing wrong with celebrating these things. Of course, you know, again, I would say to Arsenal fans, ignore these platforms. They capitalize on, I would say, Arsenal and United fans' engagement levels because of where the clubs are at. When Arsenal lose and things are collapsed like the start of last season and whatnot, the headlines make themselves. Where do Arsenal go from here? What is the project? Is Mikel Arteta this, Edu that, and the third? We're winning games. We are going to have our tough periods and things like that. Injuries are starting to creep into it. Let's get to 200 likes. We look at the transfer news, by the way. But yeah, there are going to be dark moments. But in terms of football, we're winning games. Even when, let's cut the crap. You know, we weren't perfect against Leicester. There were stupid mistakes there, but we were good. You know, as Crystal Palace at the start of the season, we were good. Obviously, we had to take a couple of punches as well as throw in some jabs. Fulham, dramatic, you know. But I'll get on and offer my opinions on that game as well. Don't worry, people. I know there's a backlog of stuff. But dramatic, you know. First off, let's be real. We should have bopped them about 4-5-0. It was one-way traffic. Dramatic circumstances. Gabriel's my guy. Still my guy at centre-back. But he has the bozo gene. I don't know what was going on. It must have been the carnival demons in Gabriel. But he had a little brain fart. We reacted. We won the game. You know, that's what football's about. You know, winning, losing, drawing, winning trophies, all of these things. These are the dramas. And for me, Arsenal fans, just ignore these people, bro. I know it's not going to happen, you know. Ignore the talk shites, all these platforms, because we're giving them engagement. Even when we're criticizing it, just ignore it, you know. When we win, we're the best team. These same people say we're the best team in the world. When we lose, you know what time it is. So just ignore the celebration, please. When United are beating Southampton, no one say nothing, you know. When you think City fans care that they're to come from behind against Aston Villa last season, this is football. Fucking invincibles. We didn't just go out there 9 times out of 10 with Vieira, Henry, Dennis, and the rest of them. We bopped everyone, but there was many a game we drew that you know, look at the invincible campaign. We drew a lot of games in that where we could have lost. But every game tells its picture, and it's a marathon, not a sprint, really. And it's been near enough a perfect August. I know, again, what Aston Villa want to be villains and live up to their name, but ignore the celebration police. Obviously, things are getting real where Arsenal are concerned. You know, me personally, I'm not even mad about. We'll get into it, but the Elneny injury, the PARTEY injuries, Zinchenko precaution. I'm past this as an Arsenal fan. As much as I like what Arteta and Edu are doing, this is what we're signing up for. You're either telling me if you don't bring a midfielder in that the squad is decent and big enough to deal with anyone that's missing out, or we're struggling in the market. Now, I know Edu, Arteta, these guys, they're on the case, innit? I don't know this. I ain't got their phone numbers, but they're on the case. I must say, as great as pre-season was and the new signings have bedded in and they're playing very well. First half, Odegaard and Jesus, along with Saka, who's not a new signing, did well against Fulham. I just thought I should say that. But yeah, man, we knew injuries. You know, can anyone be shocked? Elneny's injury is a shocker. Maybe he hasn't played too much. He played significant. You know, for me, I'm a footballing man, but I'm pretty sure Elneny probably played on that injury, and now he could be out for a significant time. Partey is at least out for 3-4 games or 5 games, as I saw, which Man United away from home. That's the big one. Him and Elneny typically do well there. We're missing them. Injuries are part and parcel with football, and we've seen this long before Arteta, during Arteta. We've seen this. You know, we have to be prepared for at some point. You know, you can't be fully prepared, but Zinchenko and Tini might be injured same time. Partey and Elneny are gone, and the Elneny one upsets me a bit as well, because don't get it twisted, this Lokonga FC is my guy. I think he can develop and things like that. But with the need to grab 3 points right now, people, like right now, today, I don't think, you know, I think Elneny comes in, he gives you 5, respectfully, he'll give you a 5 or 6. Lokonga is very volatile. So now we're going with Lokonga, Granit, Odegaard, which is cool in it really, but it's not the strongest of lineups, and we signed up for this. You know, there's no more rugged man in the team. Every team you're trying to buy a midfielder on, if I'm there, I'm saying slap another 0, bro, because I think we should have got a centre mid early, let them bed in early with what we saw with the new signings in pre-season and the momentum we're carrying until this particular moment. So it is what it is. Obviously, if everybody was fit, and you look that big up, you lot been fucking with me from the start. I said in August, or at the start of the window, if I had my way, which I don't, I think you need 2 8s and a 6 regardless of what's going on. But end of the day, hopefully Zinchenko's injury isn't mad. You know, you've got Zinchenko, you've got Fabio Vieira, who needs to settle when things. This is what you're gonna have to rock with. And you know, apart from Xhaka, who, you know, isn't the most rugged, but he's a strong man in the midfield. We're gonna have to just commit to playing a different way or bring people in, because this is we've seen this already. Like, we've seen this, and there's gonna be more injuries to come, injuries, suspensions, loss of form, all of that shite. It comes with the game, innit? So I'm not really vexed. I'm actually not. I'm actually surprised how calm I am with Elneny and Partey's injuries, because I expect this. This keeps happening, really. My only issue will be, in the same way, if Arteta gives them a plan, big up Arteta, because he made an early sub against Fulham and you saw what happened. But if the players got to mess up and the manager, and it looks to me like the manager's told you to do one thing, you've done the other, then I have to get onto the players. What I can't blame the players for is preparing the squad. Now, I think the formation, what we're trying to do on the pitch, the partnerships, the different players that can come in, like I think we would have TNFC, but Zinchenko in that first half against Fulham running into midfield, I think he could have given us another gear. I like what we're doing, but it's also about injuries and how we can perform at our worst and how we look after this. Let's be honest, Partey is a sick note, bro. You can't, like, even Partey's own mother is not going to bet her life savings that her son will be fit for 30 of the 38 Premier League games. It's a myth. Elneny is a bit bewildering, but I expect this. You know, I expect this. This is the season. It weren't all going to be wavy. We're just rocking up, winning games. The same squad's going out there. Boy, it's fugazi, innit? But we're just gonna have to get on with it. Like, there's nothing else you can do in it. Edu's gonna have to pull his finger out, and obviously I don't know where some fans stand. I see him doing up barbecue and that. Some fans might say, "What are you doing again?" But we're gonna just need to get on with it. 51 likes, keep running that up, people. But yeah, man, you know, we're just gonna have to deal with the injuries. Ignore the celebration police, because the more you engage with their platforms, they know Arsenal fans put engagement. Engagement means traffic. Traffic means hits on their YouTube channels or their radio shows or whatever. That means views. That somewhere along the line, that means bills are getting paid. So stop helping them pay their bills. They don't like us. They'll never like us. On behalf of every Arsenal fan, just tell them, shut them on, keep it moving. Let's just air that, people. But yeah, what are you lot saying, people? I've missed you lot. I can't lie. My voice is finished. I cannot lie. Hope you're well behaved at Carnival. Keep your opinions coming. Partey out for a month, Elneny out with a hamstring. Crazy. So, man, I have to get on with it, innit? Like, I know it's always the players that don't play, and if we have good results, it is what it is. And if we don't, we sit there and say, oh, they're not there. But we just got to get on with it now, man. Is it scary? Of course, but you know, I don't matter if it's Telemans, Neves, bro. Well, obviously, the Paqueta dreams died. He's gone hammers. It is what it is, man. Big up you lot as well. Afternoon, DG and the nation. Hope you're all good. With the news coming out that Elneny is injured, we better go out there and get 2 centre mids now, a right winger and a striker to cover Jesus, because Eddie ain't enough if he too gets it, was to get injured his peak. It's Operation Martinelli, or you're hoping a young bull can make a name for themselves, but it is what it is, like you said there. You're never going to be fully prepared. Like even Manchester City squad, like, you know, a lot of managers in the Premier will bite your arm off for at least 15% of that squad. I'm not saying Pep don't believe in them and stuff like that, because City do this thing. They want Cucurella. You don't want to sign, all right, we'll go somewhere else. You've seen that with Fred, Jorginho, Harry Kane, bare dons. But I'm sure if you ask Pep Guardiola, he would like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a couple other players. So no one's going to be perfect and stuff like that. But some are more equipped than others, really, because you're going to have to bring in tied and untested young players. Again, the conditions are never perfect in the Premier League, but you can't have it both ways. You can't throw Lokonga in there and try and advocate consistency. Obviously, there's times Lokonga's come in the team and done well, but the same way you just saw with Gabriel, and I must admit, I'm Gabriel's biggest fan, but he needs to cut that stuff out. You put Lokonga in there, he might not give you that 5, 6 out of 10 that Elneny does. He might be 10 out of 10. He might look like he needs his hand held and he's missing his mum another day. So this is the issue. Like I said, what we do with our experienced players sets these players up for the future. And obviously, Xhaka is near enough fit 9 times out of 10. When Partey is there, he's a decent player. If you're not there, it's irrelevant. Elneny the same, really and truly. He's not amazing, but he's calm. So it is what it is. We needed a 6 yesterday. We need a 6 even more so, man. It's all mad, really and truly. Big up my guy Partey and his replacement now injured. Sambi time. There's unless you're gonna do the Wenger ball thing like Zinchenko's fit, Xhaka's there, Odegaard's there, Fabio Vieira come in, and we just do something else. Do we even change to a back 3 now? Because obviously Xhaka can do this thing, but you lose that ruggedness in midfield. And I'm looking at Villa, but I'm looking to the United game now. Do you go to a back 3? Put Zinchenko in there, suffocate the midfield and just look to do that? I don't know. I must admit, I am happy I'm not Mikel Arteta in that regards, folks. Forget them, man. You know, forget them. Let them talk, bro. Shout out Tons. Shout out South London. What have you said? DG's voice sounding mashup. You definitely enjoyed Carnival. Welcome back. I don't know, man. We can celebrate like how we like, nobody else business. Amen, Stephen. Tell them again. Spurs fans run on the field after beating newly promoted for Forest tumbleweeds from the celebration, please, because we're going to get engagements. Respectfully, Spurs, it's not going to drive the traffic that Arsenal fans are. It's not even a Spurs thing or whatever. It's Arsenal fans are going to give these lot engagement, and attention is the new currency in today's day and age, people. If you go and look at what you see on Sky Sports and how they write their articles, or even on YouTube, attention. You say things a lot of way. Many people are not going to stop there and go, all right, let me air them. They're pissing off. It's going to be, oh, you can't do this. Forget them. Because when Arsenal eventually win the league again, Lord God, then we can really make noise. I was crying out for a 6 now. See what happened. It's not even September. Amen. I love the fact people are talking ish about us again. I don't even, I hear that and I like that, but I don't care, bro. They could be saying we're the best team in the whole world. Just air them. Like last season, just air them. These same media outlets that were acting like there's no plan at the start of the season started moving like it's a foregone conclusion Arsenal will be in the top 4. Them man don't really care. It's just engagement. And Arsenal fans are going to give it to them each and every time. Would you make an big up, Graham? Would you make an offer for Grealish, who's still a free agent? He can provide cover and fill in for a European competition. I mean, I came to know about him, and I did a video through watching Reece Nelson's loan in Germany. So it all depends on the wages, but you got to consider that, really. Spot on, DG. We have no excuses for injuries. We don't, man. I remember your calls to Eddie on here, bro. Yeah, sometimes, man, think I can just go, hello, Eddie. What's going on, bro? Like, we're back to no midfielders. But hey, you got Smith Rowe, you got Odegaard, you got Fabio Vieira, you got Zinchenko. This has to, when we sat there in August or in June and everyone was waiting for the new season and we was going off last year and all this analytics, you have to have known this. So all I care about is not the problem. I care about solutions. If there's no solution, we have problems. Does it concern me? Of course the injury does, but we've been here before. And how much time are you going to keep being surprised that Partey is injured or Arsenal have injuries, really? Really, it just is what it is now. Everyone's gonna have them. You're gonna have to get on with it. Makes it easier for my team to chill out. Then again, didn't we rock up with Elneny, Cedric, and Tavares at the Emirates? Pardon me, Tans, chill out. Unfortunately, it's going to be long at Old Trafford, bro. It's long on the best of days for Arsenal fans at Old Trafford. How many points have we in I know we won the league there, and I'm old enough to remember that. I had to get that one in. But how many times have we rocked up there and won? Even if I look at last year, you should have walked away with something. You took the lead, you didn't walk away with it. First alarm bell in the Premier League. You got yourself back in the game, and then you let yourself down again. I said this for ages. We badly need a number 6, and the Spuds got my number 1 choice sitting on the bench for 29 million. Xhaka in the 6 is a disaster, bad memories. He might not be the 6 for the team, but he's going to have to be the more experienced man in that team. You know, he's going to have to change his role slightly, like what you kind of saw in the first half. The first half against Fulham with Tierney playing. Smash the like button, people. A man said, have you got a cold? Come on, bro. I ain't got no cold, man. I should really look after my voice a lot better, innit? It's the one thing I need. 81 likes. There's 300 of you locked in on YouTube. We get to 200 likes. We look at the transfer news. Obviously, throughout this live stream, I'm going to speak about the game we played against Fulham. I ain't done that. And then we'll, you know, press conference and things. I ain't got no cold, bro. I ain't got no cold. Basically, just go on, brother. Come on, man. Allow me. I don't know. Who went carnival? I don't know. When do we stop playing Lokonga? Shouldn't he be up to speed, man? Now, I mean, no, I'm not babying him. This is the harsh reality. You got to get thrown in. But what I can't do is sit here and say I have one view of a player. I'm looking at the player, where I want him to go, where he currently is, and expecting different. I have to judge you and put my expectations accordingly. What I want to see from Lokonga, first and foremost, mentally. You know, I'm not saying you're not a strong character mentally, but you feel, and I'm not saying he feels like anything's a divine right, but I feel he almost thought joining Arsenal was going to be a bit of a movie. You know, you look at the All or Nothing where he's a bit upset about him being not starting, which he's not wrong in. And you've got Eddie chatting to him. There was a time last season where he just looked like a baby in there. He looked like he needed his handheld. And you know, the Arsene Wenger in me wants to give you that to these young players. But the harsh reality of football, we can't protect yourself. If you're not with this thing, you have to hold bench. That's why I was like, Elneny in right now, 5, 6 out of 10. Keep the winning run going. Lokonga, your time will come, which it is now. There's no baby in, bro. You know, but he's come to this club with 70-odd appearances for Anderlecht. He's played 20-odd times last season for us. You know, he's still in his early 20s. I'm not expecting fireworks. I am expecting you to get it together now. You need to move it together now, really. When your chance comes, take it. But as I said, you probably got Odegaard. Where's the number 8? Could it be Odegaard and Xhaka with and Smith Rowe comes in? Do you get Fabio Vieira as the left-sided 8, slightly move Xhaka ahead? Again, I know some people see 3 left-footers in midfield and it's panic stations. I don't know what you do, but he's going to have to find something in it and be judged accordingly, because it was a fallacy if you expected this whole team to stay fit. And I don't care to hear anything about, oh, we would have won this if my man was here. No, we bloody wouldn't. Forget all of that. Win the game now. Simple as that, man. We ain't got nothing. Everything else is long, bro. We got United after Villa too. DJ, have you seen the bus stop at Carnival? Yeah, I saw that. What did you think of Tierney playing inverted against Fulham? Tierney's Tierney, innit? I think he defended well. There was a great moment where Odegaard's tracked all the way back, and I think the Fulham man miskicked it. Him and Tierney are back there. I think Tierney put in a shift still. Important block in the first half, even though it was one-way traffic. Oh, there's no throwing man at the deep end, bro. Well, it is, but sink or swim. You know, very rarely are you going to come through in ideal scenarios. Obviously, even when Smith Rowe and Saka really came through, our club was collapsed. Martinelli, when he first come through, was coming through with a madness. Obviously, you look at Rashford, he come through at United when there was enough injuries in that. So there's never really an ideal scenario. Eddie and Nketiah, let's be real, wasn't ideal scenarios. And Eddie only got his chance because Aubameyang could behave himself. Lacazette stopped doing the luxuries that people afford him because he can't score goals. Then your chance get him, and then you thrived within that. So when it comes, take it. Because you got a World Cup to think about. Now, am I convinced about any of them? No. You know, I wouldn't say quite players are 6, but I would say I demand a bit more reserved role of Granit Xhaka if we have to do that. Zinchenko could probably play a bit more reserved as well, but his natural tendencies are to go forward. You have got Lokonga. Is Lokonga the most defensive-minded? Does he check his shoulders at this great level? I don't think he does that enough, where any midfielder that isn't aware consistently and plays like a deer in the headlights and plays blinkered, respectfully to Lokonga, we're in issues. I don't know if this means that Ainsley Maitland-Niles revival. I don't know what this means. You know, obviously he's been linked with Newcastle today to follow on Southampton, West Ham, Bournemouth, this club, that club. But it's time to keep it moving. In fact, aren't we? The window's soon shut, so you will see some moves, or I think you will be. But boy, this just puts everything into question now, really. But Arteta's gonna have to figure it out. So it's all madness. PARTEY isn't out for a month, but Elneny is looking like a long-term absentee. We shouldn't move for Telemans. I don't know how long PARTEY is gone for, but if you look at this, obviously it says what he's expected to miss: Aston Villa, Man United away, Zurich, Everton, and PSV. Now he probably would have at least played in 4 of those 5 games. I don't even, but you could say all of them because PSV is a big team. But I would have thought Everton, Man United, Villa, definitely where the away game with United is concerned. So it might not be a month, but that's a month worth of fixtures. That's 5 weeks of fixtures. I know 2 games are played in a week consistently, but yeah, that's him really. So I don't know for any of that part. We're just gonna have to get on with it. We're gonna have to get on with it. Because on the best of days, and I've got no excuses because again, and as I've been saying since they've signed for this club, as much as I like Arteta, bro, you and Edu were sent to midfielders. So on top of the obvious that the fans are saying and what everyone can see, you lot should know on the best days when everyone's fit what this team requires, and I think you do. So I'll shut my mouth, I'll sit back. But come September the 1st, boy, we can only use what's available to us, and you'll have to be praised or critiqued accordingly. Because as we saw last season, on occasion, injured players were coming. Players were coming in for injured players and doing quite well, but that's all Disneyland. You can get away with that for 3 games. But when you're looking at them to kind of navigate the course of an extended run in the team, they're going to revert to their level. And I can't be mad at them because they're not 30. Man, woke up today, both my voice and midfield is finished. What's going on? Sadly, these injuries should refocus the transfer goals. Can't believe we let Basuma go to Spurs while we needed him here. Boy, nothing I can say there. No way people vote Xhaka for 6. Man can't turn. We need Telemans. Why are they halting? I wish I knew. We will play Lokonga as a 6. I don't think he's ready as a 6. As an 8, I don't mind him. Would like to see what Arteta does with him. I'm just tired of asking for a midfielder now. You and me both, man. Man said these man can't stay fit even if they lived on a treadmill. That's not nice. If we sign Telemans, we're going to have to go back to the Xhaka pivot. I mean, sad reality. Not even sad reality. Sad reality for some people who... You cannot like Xhaka. You can think he's not the best player because he's not. But you can have some. You can praise or critique fairly. For me, if it was up to me, like Xhaka, like Elneny, sorry, them two, it's marginalized roles, it's rotation options. But end of the day, Xhaka plays 9 times out of 10. Think he puts in his shift. Do think there's qualities. Do think he's not quite of that ceiling to take us to the next level. But you're gonna have to get with it. And Xhaka's always gonna play. So you knew Xhaka and Telemans, if they signed together, they're going to be together at some point in the midfield. To be honest with you, I'd rather throw against United. I'd rather rock up with Xhaka and Telemans than at this moment in time put Odegaard there, Smith Rowe there, Fabio Vieira there, Zinchenko there, even though they can, some can do it more than others. And this is someone that spent the whole summer waffling about that. I do think there's a time and a place for certain things. We needed a 6 and 2 8s for time. Not surprised that we are getting injuries. It happens every year. Have to bring in a midfielder or forget about top 4. Why do we never bring in loans? Bit harsh. Odegaard arrived initially on a loan. There's been a couple. So Bios was here on loan. There is some loans. So what's the point bringing on loans if the loan who grab who though? Hey man, to all the man out there that are shocked about my voice, don't worry, man. I'll be back soon. I'm just wounded right now. I think we should do something silly for never 70 million. You said silly. You think we should do something silly. That's the end of that conversation there. Really, you should never do silly things. We could do a makeshift of White and Xhaka at the middle for the Villa game. Rather Lokonga and Xhaka. Ben White, stay where you are. If we're gonna try any of that remixing stuff, you might as well go to a back 3 and put Ben White in midfield to get away from home against United. You know, United are gonna have the crowd going for them. You know, they've got 2 wins on the bounce. It's obviously Arsenal versus Man United. Again, if you can take points off your top 4, top 6 rivals, it is good. But United can't break down low blocks. So don't, you know, same way we struggle with Fulham, tried everything to time waste, to take the sting out of the game, to not allow us to do that, do the same things. I would love to be wrong, but if we rock up with these current things with a back 4, you know, it's 2 teams filled with good habits, but also bad habits. And the team that does the most bad habits will be messed up. I would like Neves, but he said do something silly. You should never do something silly. DJ, I think the Fulham game showed us why we could do with Zaha, and Eddie's finishing is hit and miss. It is. Eddie had a good cameo off the bench, like the time Arteta brought him on, really. But yeah, man, couple chances. Let's be real. Eddie should have finished them really and truly. I do think Saka should have scored in the first. So I think, you know, I was based on social media. People were acting like Saka had a terrible game. He did not have a terrible game, but I think the goals will start pouring in. I'd wonder how many goals he had by this time last year, by the equivalent fixtures. But I think him and Odegaard to go with Jesus, Martinelli as well, in terms of the pressing and the intensity and stuff and the link-up play, I think it was there in abundance, some more than the others, but you get the point. Big up you lot, man. Interesting talking points. White can cover for DM for a game or so. Tommy back to starting. I don't like midfield. I don't like injuries, but this is the perfect time to sign a midfielder. Perfect conditions. We can play Odegaard deeper and play Smith Rowe in the 10. This is why Basuma was needed. Elneny is the most important. Arsenal is the balance of the team, bro. Lauren, Elneny is a good guy, but we don't need to cap. Like, man always have to overdo it. Like, no, it's not true, is it? Because Elneny, be respectfully to me, be playing week in, week out if that was the case. We don't need to overdo it. We don't need to overdo it. Like, Elneny does his thing, but yeah, Carnival is lit still. Plays Zinchenko in midfield. I really do wonder what's going through Arteta and Edu's head. Everyone could see we needed a centre mid/DM. 3-4-3 for sure. White, Saliba, Gab, Saka, Sambi, Xhaka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Jesus, Odegaard. Practice versus Villa. Should have some rhythm by the United game. Unpopular opinion. I wouldn't change the formation for Aston Villa. I'd say you lot prepare something and you got to, you prepare this week for United. You change it at United. Give yourself that insurance of winning that game. 2 wins at Old Trafford since 2007. We've only lost twice in the last 10 games against United. That's definitely not a case at home. Looks like you had a good time. I can't confirm or deny any reports. If you know, you know, man. Shout out, my guy. Man's been to Carnival, obviously sounding like me after an Arsenal game at the Emirates. Bro, I thought it weren't that bad. Bro, stop spamming, bro. How much time is this one man gonna... Hey, Top Blue, I beg you block that Josh you, man. You're doing too much, bro. You're doing way too much, bro. You're doing way too safe, my guy. You're doing too much, man. How much time is he gonna spam the thing? Criminal settings, panic mode for a midfielder. Smash the likes, people. Get up to 200 for transfer news. Subscribe, road to 50,000. Join the nation. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, my gosh, totally forgot about him. If Elneny is injured, also Partey, we need an extra midfielder. Lokonga can't satisfy it like Mo and Thomas. Big up DG. Does that mean we won't sell Ainsley Maitland-Niles? I think Ainsley, if I'm him, I'm still pushing to leave. But at the same time, you could think there could be an opportunity for me here. But boy, even if you play amazing, you're still going to get rubbed out when everyone's fit. Oh, pardon me. On one hand, I'd still sanction the sale of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But you know what? Considering he's got a year left in his deal, and depending on what you can do in the market, unless there's guarantees that you're bringing in a midfielder, you might as well activate that 1-year deal and just keep him at the club. And like last year, just revisit that in January, because you can't. You need whether man rate Maitland-Niles in midfield, which I don't know, not you're gonna have to keep them bodies around. Crazy. Zinchenko, Xhaka, and Lokonga would hold our midfield. Then in left back, Tierney, no clue saying there, but shout you. Shots Thursday. F it 60/80 for Neves. We need a damn replacement for Partey. Cannot rely on the man. It's true, but 60 to 80 for Neves. Leave it, man. Bet you're glad you didn't have to go back to some Bandulu 9 to 5 today after Carney. Nah, because we're still working, bro. Life's harder when you work for yourself, bro. If I don't get up, what's happening? Shout out you, man. Hope school was lit, man. Tellerman's price just went up by 10 mil, boy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know why Partey can't stay fit. I'm past trying to figure that out. Now, all that needs to happen is just make sure the squad is equipped. Really. 141 likes, people. So close, but so far. I would try Fabio on the 8 row. So would I, but I don't think now's the right time. I hope it works, but I don't think now's the right time. it's something, and we talked about versatility, but that man's still adapting to probably training and life in the Premier League, let alone he's not even touched the Premier League yet. And this is what I mean. If we put him in, you have to change the way you play completely. To a degree. Met you at Carney, DJ, allegedly. I big up yourself, Chris, man. Allegedly. he was there. I was there. Good news is we have time to deal with this before the end of the window. Yeah, got a couple of days. DG, honey, lime, punch and rumble, fix your voice in no time. Don't worry, man. Shout the Trinis, man. Don't worry, man. I'm back, man. I'm good. DG, Arsenal need to change the team doc, or these players should hire their own physio, because PARTEY never missed a game for Atletico. I don't know, man. Shout top blue. Thoughts on Zaha? Bring him. Come on, met you at Carney yesterday. Was active. Big up, bro. Reese, shout to you. Who was active? Not me. It must be you, man. RIP, the 21-year-old, he got stabbed, man. That's what I'm saying. Some people doing 2 different carnivals, bro. It's sad, man. People just behave yourself, man. I'm to RIP him, thoughts of his family. DG, we ain't signing nobody else, in my opinion. Well, if we don't, wait. This is what we're at, man. Weekend was good, man. Didn't do much. Morning, see. Do you think Arsenal can make a bid for Zaha if Chelsea agree a deal for Gordon? I don't think the two are necessarily interlapped, but you can do what you want, man. Long time listener, first time commenting. Absolutely love your balanced and honest opinion, DG. Much love from down under. Shout out the Aussies, lad. Take me back to Carney, man. All those Arsenal carnival tops was nice to see. Woke up today to see season in turmoil. Let's not panic. Let's chill. PARTEY ideal is a squad player at a top team. He's not reliable. That's it. That's why I'm past it, bro. Like, PARTEY is a good player when he's fit. Obviously, certain things off the field need to be addressed, but he's a good player on it. Can't keep relying on him, or we're going to be in the same scenario, really and truly. I don't think we're ever going to get the thingy, man. The PARTEY we think we need, because he's not there. Thanks to God, Telemans is still on the market. Not to be pessimistic, DG. I like Arteta more than before, but I can't accept another year outside the top 4. They must get it right. I mean, serious question marks if you don't do better than last year. And obviously, context is key, but you're not wrong. There has to be question marks. In the same way, if you get top 4, there'll be a lot of praise. I mean, if he wanted Fabio Vieira, yeah, I mean, you could be harsh and say he's not a pure number 8 or 6 at this moment in time, where you could argue we need specialists at this current moment. But I think it was something to do. I just think the issue is not getting Telemans, or, you know, the Telemans, Fabian Ruiz, Milinkovic-Savic, Ruben Neves, Lucas Paqueta, like Basuma was there at the start. You know, it's been a long summer with half of these names in it. So that's all you have to deal with it, because it's not really, at the same time, it's not really fair. If we're in a scenario where Fabio Vieira and Lokonga have to be thrown in together, then it is what it is. They have to get with it, and everyone's a trusted member, and take your chances in this stuff and all of that stuff. But away from that Disneyland Channel stuff, you slap them into the team, you're setting them up to fail. It's not fair to them, the fans, or the squad, really, or with what we're trying to do, really, because they need the time is never ideal, but there needs to be ideal situations to blood people, put people together. We need 2 players. If not, we will crumble. If this Elneny thing isn't the biggest sign to get another midfielder, kiss my teeth. Boy, a lot of men think Telemans is something he isn't. Half the players that get linked with this club, really and truly. Bit like I said, try to tell people he's not a 20 league goal man. You can see it. Don't get gassed off France. It's not going to happen. Oh, you're so negative. You're this, you're that. Who won? I won, but at what cost? Because I would have loved to have been wrong. And it wasn't even about being right or wrong. It's just like you can see with your eyes what's going on. Like, do you really watch football as much as you claim you do? Because you would see certain things. But yeah, quick fix for the Villa game would be Zinchenko at 6. I guess you could do it. We knew this was going to happen, though. Lack of squad depth, risk of injury would mess up Arsenal season. Fail to prepare to fail, not Arsenal prepared. Let's be real, we need Neves. Not for 60, 70, 80 million we don't, but he's more than welcome. But, you know, they're playing hardball over Pedro Neto. what are they going to do over Nevers? And we're getting late in the day, man. Bring them Portuguese players. Bring them Portuguese speakers. They're two very good players, you know, with prime ages. But money talks. No one wants to hear nothing else. Like, you got to pay the bill and the service charge if you want Pedro Neto. Simple as that. Nevers the same. Time for Miguel Aziz. No. Good young player, but no. I would love for him to get blooded in and do a madness, but no, not ready. No. Especially if you can't, what you talking about, making man rock up to Old Trafford? No. Fabio Vieira is a 10/winger. Forget him as a number 8. I mean, Arteta hasn't hid away from his versatility. I think he's more of an 8 than he is a winger, just by what I've seen. But fair play. What do you make of Scott Parker? Saka a bit harsh. It could be because they're not really wrong, but boy, you lose 8-9-0, however much they got sourced, it's crazy. I mean, the money talks, but results talk too. We need good midfielders to have good results. Sky is blue. Can we not get a buy one get one free deal for Wolves? I wish, man. I wish. I know this is a bad situation, and without Partey, we are going to struggle hard. And without Elneny as backup, we need someone to cover. But let's not keep thinking the worst. There must be some solution. I mean, we're hoping that something can get done, but we have to, you know, we have to get both. We have to consider both. You don't bring people in, we judge accordingly. We hope you're on the case. I mean, thinking positive or thinking negative for the sake of it doesn't make any sense. Big up, DG. Just tuned in. Please tell me you're here for the Villa game, because without your streams, everything feels off. Now I'm back. I'm back. Aston Villa, Man United. We're back with the watch along stuff, people. I forgot to even say you were spot on with the Arsenal Fulham game, bro. Can you tell me the lottery numbers? If I knew the lottery numbers, I hate you lot, but might not even hear from me again still. I told you, like, it'd be a difficult one, man. Once I saw that they've never lost at home to us, I mean, we've never lost to them at home. It's like, yep, they're going to rock up and try to be jarring, man. It wasn't the result that made Scott Parker get sacked. My guy wanted, I think you mean a player, and Bournemouth didn't want to spend. I don't know about any of that. Norhouse, he's not really kicked on as much as I thought he would, but very good technical player. Well, those injuries now incoming, surely they have to sign a midfielder. Paul, I hope so, man. I mean, surely. Even when everybody was fit, surely we needed to sign a midfielder. So hopefully Arteta and Eddie have woken up even earlier today. And before they've gone out to train or do whatever they're doing at London goalie, there's been a little meeting about transfer targets. There's no other choice, but it has to be Lokonga type thing. I just hope whether you sign household names or scouts do their jobs. I'm trying to see how long until we're linked with not Fabio Ruiz, Douglas Luiz, because wasn't he one of the first names we was linked with a midfielder, contracted until 2023, Brazilian at Aston Villa, quite decent on the ball, but it seems like that one went away. Maybe that one could circle back on. Balogun's having a good loan, man, but it's where you start. It's where you finish, not necessarily where you start. So it's down to him, Tavares, and everybody else just to keep kicking on, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Make yourself difficult for Arteta to ignore. Anytime he hears about young players, somebody said, "Oh, did you see what Balogun did against Tavares against?" They give him every reason not to want to see what all the hype is about. Do you think Arsenal will sign any centre midfielder? I hope so. I believe Lokonga's time isn't right now, but he's gonna have to get it now, isn't it? Really, like it's gonna have to happen. I'm trying to see 3-4-3 with Xhaka and Odegaard in the middle. We looked at Sandra Berge last summer as a centre defensive mid. Heard Liverpool were looking at this one. Really not sure he's enough for the way Arsenal play. Arthur Melo loan pending, easy way out in my opinion. Samore, Meedy. There's a lot of hype around him. I mean, let's be real. What we saw in the Prem was Meedy. 30 more likes for transfer news, folks. Pardon me, what we saw from maybe the Premier League, it was Meedy, man. Let's be real, he was Meedy. What would you do, DG? Xhaka in the 6. Ideally, I'd try and keep the formation and the fluidity and the balance the same. So I would probably try my best to stay with a back 4, or the standard formation, definitely until we rock up at Old Trafford. If we rock up at Old Trafford, I still want the system and the way I still want the way we're playing out to remain the same. Still want us to go forward and be confident. But you're probably looking at a back, for me anyways, I'll probably go 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 if I'm honest with you. You know, really. suffocate the midfield. You could have two strikers like Eddie and Jesus, but you've killed yourself if you need something off the bench. So Odegaard might be able to line up as a second sort of striker. You flatten the midfield out, you know, get bare Dons in there, Zinchenko, and you kind of make it up that you kind of make up the numbers that way. But then that means someone's gonna have to get dropped out, or you could actually go Martinelli and Jesus to start with as well. Really, I do suspect Martinelli would have to, you know, because of what he does off that left hand side defensively. I don't think Arteta would want to lose that. Like if you saw Mitrovic for large periods of that Fulham game in the first half, you know, really up until he scored, he kept pulling out into the right hand channel for our left hand side, and Martinelli at times was having to track back and get there. Not that they had much to do. Do you see Mudryk insane pace and dribbling? I don't know if I'm insane and all of these words, but he looks decent. Tellerman's already a signing, in my opinion, in Jan. His contract almost over. Get Sandro Tonali, if only it was that easy. Jacob Ramsey or Douglas Luiz, both would be ideal. Arteta has spoken about why Ben White can play in midfield. He's not hid anything about some of these players' versatility, and now you're gonna have to use them, innit? With Tomiyasu back, that could be an avenue. Especially if we're going with a back three as well. Tomiyasu could come in. Tomiyasu is someone I'm trying to see at Old Trafford away from home, if I'm honest with you. Regardless of what happens. It's absolutely crazy, man. Big up you lot, man. Amazing comments. Man said Felipe Melo. Bro, Tonali's a myth, bro. He's just won the Scudetto. Them Italian brothers never really want to leave Italy. I know there's a couple of exceptions, but the exceptions are not the rules. You know, they're the most reluctant to leave their country in footballing terms. He's playing for Milan. They're in the Champions League. Arsenal, in my opinion, are not going to pay for what Tonali is worth, so there's going to be no conversation in that. It'd be a lit signing, bro. Caicedo would be lit. You know, but didn't he just sign for Brighton? If Brighton, I'm saying, yo, you got to throw whatever you think he's worth, throw a couple more zeros on that, because we've got to go and get a replacement as well. That's what you need to remember. It's not just everyone else has to buy a replacement as well, people. And Villa's still playing. Yeah, he's an Arsenal player, man. He has to become an honorary Arsenal player, man. Consistency in them rumours. Is he even a real footballer? Have you seen him play? If they're saying 100 M's for Caicedo, it's a myth. I'd love a player like Verratti, but you need to get them guys when they're at Pescara and all of them things there. Once they start hitting the big leagues and people start knowing about them, it's a myth. Look like Carnival messed you up, bro. I didn't say Carnival, but yeah. I regret nothing, man. I regret nothing. I don't regret nothing. I don't regret Friday, Saturday, which Carnival's on Sunday, Monday, but I don't regret Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't regret a damn thing. I just remember looking around like, I love this shit, man. I love this shit. I love the game, man. I love this shit. Like, that's all I was thinking, man. Nah, we're still here. Can Xhaka play DM? I mean, he can. I wouldn't say DM, but you could be a chaperone. I wouldn't say that's the right thing. DG, you're too cold, man. Always got good answers and keep it real. Run up the likes, people. Jays, because I got you lot, man. Man said Nzonzi. Envia and Zonzi. Hey, so real throwback names appearing. What other guys are always linked with Arsenal? There was always a couple names that were forever signing for Arsenal. PARTEY's made of glass at this point. It is. Nah, I can't lie. I don't want Ndidi, man. I mean, it'd be nice to have him in the squad right now, but I'm not really a fan of Ndidi. I don't think he's bad. Benzema's a United one. Still Draxler. Oh, my God. Khedira. Oh, my days. Get Zinchenko into midfield. Tierney for left back. That's something. Nah, I mean, if you paid 60 million for Neves, I'm not going to complain, but it is overpaying. I don't care because he's a lit player. He's got, you know, he's Portuguese speaker, wealth of experience. You know, my man come to at Porto time ago. Sense of urgency. Obviously, I don't know if he technically is, but I'm sure he's captained Wolves, so he's of the same makeup and stuff. You know, I imagine his personality, which Arteta's a stickler for, there's nothing wrong in that, but Yeah, man, I don't think it's man is saying 60, 80 million. If you paid 60, it is what it is. It's not my piece, but 60, 70, 80 million. What me think that bit mad still. Man said Rodri. Hey, I can't say this Polish guy's name, but that was a one. I don't think it was really linked with Barella. Morgan Slinderland, we was there. Stuttman was a United one. Higuain was one forever. Bro, you might as well ask Patrick Vieira. You saw him kick that fan the other day, so you know his hamstrings are still working. Partey is press resistant in the deep pocket. He manages to hold the opposition off, roll them, and pass forward, not sideways and back. Specialist Claude need like for like, not make do. I mean, like for like, bring something in it. You're just gonna have to judge accordingly, really. Like, it's very difficult finding that, really, as you're seeing, and times of the essence. Just bring someone of a suitable standard. Respectfully, if Elneny is the bottom, they need to be significantly better than him and Lokonga. If they're not, then I'd rather, again, having a body is better than none, but I'd rather just bear it out, man. DG, you think we didn't make enough effort for Renato? Another option we could look at is Lemay. I mean, Renato, it seemed like whoever wanted him, which PSG eventually did, he was there. I would take Sangare from PSV. Not really been monitoring him since he signed there, but if he's playing anything like he was at Toulouse, make it happen. Make it happen tomorrow. Simple as that. Crazy. I'm surprised we ain't been linked with Draxler this summer. The one time his club's actually trying to sell him. Tell Barca we need Kessie for 20 mil. They'll sell him. Barca is broke now. They're bugging still. They just got him. It was clear that we needed another mid last season, and this season it's crazy Arteta didn't go from mid. Damn, I fear our season might go down from tomorrow. Less said that, man. If it goes down, then it goes down. If it goes upwards, then it goes up, man. We'll deal with it accordingly, man. You just, it is what it is. What's the worst that can happen? Obviously, Arsenal, more injuries. Top four is further derailed. What's the best that can happen? We sign some players. We wake up tomorrow and somehow there's been a magic sponge that has, cured Partey, Tierney, and anybody else, Elneny right now, and anyone else that suffers from long-term absences from our squad or got a little niggling knocks, really and truly. That's all you really hope for. But the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, man. What I always say, though, there is as much as last season you can say what you want. I do think there is a degree of we press the self-destruct button, and I feel sometimes we have brain farts on the field and naiveties in terms of game management, preparation. Many of the things we saw last season. But I also think we don't help ourselves. If you go out in the cold, if it's winter time and you go out in your sandals and don't bring a coat and you're cold, whose fault is that? If you don't have a coat, better yet, winter's coming, go and buy a jacket. And that's what I mean with injuries. These things could happen. Deep down, obviously, there's variables that we might not know. Certain players might have needed to go so he could bring some stuff in or whatever. But we don't help ourselves. We need to eliminate and exhaust every possible area of improvement on and off the field before we can start looking at other teams. Because, again, we are kind of hindering ourselves in that regards. So I don't really know about any of that. We should get Rodri, Tchouaméni, and Busquets as a backup for Partey. Tchouaméni just moved to Real Madrid for 70-odd million. So if you're not going to give them their money back and then some, it's a myth. Busquets is a great player, historically been a great player. But if you're asking for Busquets in 2022 to play that lone 6 role, you've either not been watching him for Barcelona when they've got Calas or you're on something else. And as for Rodri, in your heart, it's not happening, is it? You gotta buy them you gotta buy them sort of players. Pardon me, when they're at the clubs they're at before they come to City, because then it's a myth from that regards, really. Can Dog be on? He's always linked with us. Could be something to explore, really. I was never really convinced on him, but he's all right. That could be something. But yeah, we're into the likes, people. So let's keep running them up. Let's get this going, people. Let's get this show on the road. That's 49-40. Let's say transfer news. And then tab police look away very shortly because it's all mad right now. But What was we doing? The first thing, let's start with the bearer of bad news. Not that you don't already know, people. Again, Arsenal suffer Elneny injury blow potentially impacting transfer plans. Arsenal have suffered a major blow after it emerged that midfielder Mohamed Elneny sustained a significant injury in the win over Fulham. As you know, he's understood to have picked up the problem during the 2-1 victory, but completed the injury. It wasn't until later that the problem became apparent. Although Arsenal and Elneny are believed to be awaiting the full extent, initial indications suggest he's expected to be sidelined for a substantial period. Now, some people are saying weeks, some people are saying months. The latest reports are saying weeks. So I don't know, people. Whether it's weeks or months, just get it right, innit? You know, lose the battle to win the war. If he has to be out for 4 weeks and then we can draw a line over this, cool. I don't want to hear man back after 2.5 weeks. No, boss, I'm fit. I don't critique the players at all, but we need to be sensible. And injuries are a techie one because obviously Arsenal's physios get a lot of heat and a lot of things, and people say a lot of things, and there's obviously evident question marks with our medical department. But when you looked at Kieran Tierney, Partey, couple of players, they played with injuries. They've not. It's not that they're not being honest because they want to go out and play, but they've not been honest, and then there's more issues now. Elneny, Elneny might not be the answer. He, in an ideal world, he probably shouldn't be here as much as I like him. We should have 2 sixes that are 30 and 8. You should have been moved on, never given the first deal you was given. Shouldn't have been really given this renewal. The bar was on the floor as much as I like what Elneny did in the game. But, you know, he's for the cause. He puts in a shift. He does all these things. So it's sad, really. But that's why I think he's played with the injury, really. And you can't, players are always going to play. That's why it annoys me when, not just at Arsenal, when people say players don't care. You can criticize their ability and their application on the pitch, but they do care. But he's irrelevant now in that he's going to, be in the sidelines, people. So we'll have to see. Partey is also absent, albeit with what is said to be a relatively minor muscular issue. Arsenal now find themselves light in midfield, people. Obviously, the loss of Elneny could have implications for Arsenal's transfer plans in what remains of the window. The club had previously been focused on signing a new wide forward, with Pedro Neto the top target, but highly unlikely to be sold by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Shakhtar Donetsk's Mikhailo Mudryk also among their candidates, which we have heard before. As you know, Elneny's setback may see Arsenal pivot to pursue a recruit in his area of the pitch. It is thought financial considerations would make it difficult to buy both a winger and a midfielder in the coming days. I do think you need who can play as the deepest midfielder, and I would say if he got with it psychologically, he would do a lot better within that role, people. But we're going to have to see what's going on because Thursday's deadline is fast approaching. You've got 48 hours. First 48. Anyways, away from that, apparently Pepe agreed a 25% pay cut to leave Arsenal on loan, people. Crazy. And that's 2.5 million quid. Better man than me. I want to play football, but I'm not giving that up, bro. I know you like bling. That watch ain't cheap. But hey, I know happiness is everything in life. But I ain't giving up them bands still. The Liga club are paying half of his salary, which is understood to be around 10 million a year. Arsenal are then contributing 25%, and Pepe has agreed to forego the rest. Such was his eagerness to return to playing in France. Big up Pepe. He just wants to bust out and play. I hear that. Sources have commented on how unusual this is at clubs that are not experiencing financial difficulties, such as Barcelona. The deal was a straight loan for Pepe, and Nice have no option to buy. Did they pay a loan fee? I can't lie. Everything I'm reading doesn't really say anything about any potential loan fee being paid, really. So we'll have to see what's going on. Arsenal had hoped to bring in, obviously, Pepe played in the 3-0 defeat to Marseille, where former Guna Guendouzi played, and Tavares just can't stop scoring. And as much as I like Tavares scoring, well, I need to see some highlights defensively because we know you can go forward. Arsenal had hoped to bring in Pedro Neto following Pepe's departure, but the move is now highly improbable, with Wolverhampton Wanderers reluctant to sell this summer, and the level of fee that might persuade them otherwise looking unrealistic for Mikel Arteta's side. That's obviously now with the need to buy I think you needed 2 midfielders anyways, but Telemans and someone else probably still need some outgoings. And then I don't know if Mendes can do something for us, but probably improbable as to, you know, expecting a significant buy. Obviously, this was last week on the 22nd, people. It just happens to be here. As we know, Pedro Neto is a top target. There was said to be in talks led by George Mendes on behalf of Arsenal and Wolves to try and see what could be done. But again, you know, it's you put the money down. You don't put the money down, you don't get the player. It's as simple as that, really. You've got to put the bread down. Scrolling through again, tab police, allow me. What's this? Oh, that's Ramsdale getting at people. Apparently, Gary O'Driscoll tried to calm down fans' fears, allegedly on the socials.
Party injured, or is he? No, they're both. We're just going to
Start
be
again.
precaution. Oh, okay, brilliant. Where's Party? Is Party injured, or is he? No, they're both. We're just going to be safe, you know. Brilliant. But the great thing is we've got players you can fill in. Yeah, yeah. That's the difference, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's amazing. You don't want me to sign it.
Don't say that. I'm only the doctor.
I winning the title. We're winning the title, yeah. Yes, we're winning the title.
Leave the guy alone, fam. Such a nice guy, man.
What's the case with Tommy?
Get his autograph, man. I don't like that. I'm only the doctor. What do you mean you're only the doctor, man? You're a flipping Arsenal doctor, mate.
Yeah, they're all 100%.
Big up you, man. Big up you. But yeah, Partey is expected to miss Aston Villa at home, Man United away, Zurich away, which to try and give you lots of consolation, he probably weren't going to play that. Was probably going to play Everton away at home, and you probably don't want to see Partey playing the Europa League until the latter stages, but I would have probably played him against PSV, so he's missing 5 game weeks in all comps. Obviously, one luxury I don't actually know when Europa League comes into it, but you could imagine we're probably playing Thursday, Sunday, or something of that nature, so it is what it is. We're just going to have to get on with it. We either sit here and sulk and feel sorry for ourselves, or we try and do something in the transfer market, or we get on with it. But all I know is I hope we have the season we need to have, because once again, if we haven't learned our lessons, then we're going to keep having the same realities again and again and again and again, folks. Once again, Elneny picked up an injury against Fulham. Understand it is a hamstring issue. Further assessment taking place to learn the full severity of it. And he's barely played, and then he's had to play significantly. It's looking mad, really and truly. Apparently, Zinchenko had a late fitness test on Saturday, so hopefully he's soon fresh home, and our next 6 games: Fulham, Villa, United, Zurich, Everton, and PSV. So they're coming thick and fast. Big up Odegaard, as you can see. But Odegaard was so sick against Fulham, man. So sick. You know, the way he pressed. But even the build-up to his goal, man. Like, the goal, like, it's like 8 passes from Ramsdale to Saliba. I think Ben White gives it back to Saliba. I think Saka's had a knock on it as well. There, Odegaard's in the pocket. You can see Odegaard saying to Saliba what to do with it. And then you can see the run Odegaard makes before eventually Saka kind of puts it in for him, and then obviously there's a deflection. But Odegaard's such a fucking intelligent player. Pardon me. 91 touches, 100% take on success, 100% pass cross accuracy, 11 final third entries, 1 possession 10 times, including one where he's tracked back from their box all the way, him and Tierney all the way in the first half. 8 draws, 5 take-ons, 3 tackles, 3 shots, 2 chances created, 2 shots on target, 1 goal. My capitano. Arsenal had hoped to bring in Neto following Pepe's departure, but the move is now looking highly improbable, with Wolves reluctant to sell this summer and the level of fee that might persuade them otherwise looking unrealistic for Arsenal. So there you have that, people. You have to nick that one there in the bud. Romano has said Arsenal will try to find the right opportunity with Edu and Mikel Arteta busy in the next hours/days. Arsenal have left it a little late, but we're focused on outgoings. It won't be easy, but let's see what happens in the next few days. Arsenal explored conditions to sign Mikhailo Mudryk, the Ukrainian lad, a few days ago, however, only on the player's side. So that means we're just talking to advisors. Would you want to sign for Arsenal? What sort of contract and these sort of things? Everton had a 30 million verbal proposal for the player rejected by Shakhtar. Mudryk is one to watch until the end. So maybe we're going to try as much as we can for Pedro Neto and that. And this is somewhat a safety net, respectfully, to the young lad. I would keep my eye on some surprising names until the end, because Arsenal will work, as always, the names they really want and not the players they just want to sign as one more, nothing else. They want to sign the perfect player. Well, we ain't got perfect money. Pedro Neto is one of the players they love. Eddie really appreciates the player. Same for Arteta. They consider Neto as the perfect man for them, but Wolves want more than 50 million, so it's a complicated deal for them. Marco Asensio has been offered by his agents many important English clubs, including Arsenal and United, in the last 2 weeks. Asensio is looking for an opportunity and will try to find a nice opportunity because he wants to play. And yeah, that was the same thing. One of the names I wanted to mention is Mudryk from Shakhtar. Many clubs are keen on signing him from England, the Bundesliga from Italy too. Now could be an opportunity, so let's see what Arsenal decide to do. So yeah, let's see what Connor Harrison's also saying. As much as Arsenal like Mudryk, I'm told Arsenal don't value him at the 35 million euros he's being touted for. And I agree with that, man. I like Partey as a footballer away from all the other stuff, but it's time to move on, man. Can't keep relying on this, bro. Arsenal are still looking to bring Telemans in according to the agent. They have to pull the trigger, are the words used. Again, Arsenal don't want to pay over 20 million. Leicester want more. Next 24 hours will be interesting. Let's see how much Arsenal want him. Boy, for all those asking, Arsenal are not done. They are working on 2 in and 2 out. Let's hope it goes to plan. So I have no reason to believe Arsenal are out of the Neto deal, especially with days left. So let's see what Donny is saying, fam. Let's see what Donny is saying. Don't know if there's any credibility in that, but let's just see what Donny is saying. 240 likes. Can we get to 300? Big up you lot, man. You lot really missed me, innit? Apparently, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, another day, another English club, in it, really. 1 minute is Southampton and Bournemouth, you know. And again, Bournemouth and Southampton now very much the 2 viable options for Ainsley. No move close at this stage. However, still work to be done if he is to leave Arsenal in this window. I understand there are also no other expected departures as things stand. And with Ainsley, would you really be in a rush to sanction him moving without confirming people coming in, whether you like him or not? He's also been linked with Newcastle this morning as well, folks. Allegedly, Arsenal will likely sign Mendes' client Neto or someone else. Mendes offered Fabio Vieira and it postponed the Telemans deal. Yuri Telemans is now dependent on Lokonga leaving. Bellerin will leave. Elneny was extended due to lack of Champions League, allegedly. Where is these? What's this? The Egyptian winner podcast. Yeah, I'm going to go down a blind alley with that one, isn't it? So, allegedly, Bellerin to Betis now seems a very difficult, according to his agents. Apparently, you know, he could be going to Barcelona, which we're giving more people for free. The initial prognosis of Partey's injury is fairly positive, and he could be back in a couple of weeks. He looks certain to miss at least the next couple of games, including this weekend's trip to Man United. It's irrelevant then, man. Bellerin is going to wait for the call from Barca until the last moment. Today must be the key day to know if the club reactivates the operation or discards it. It definitely. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Look, there you can see it there, people. Here in Newcastle have joined the race for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. More on Talk Shy later. So just get him gone, people. Apparently, translations, you know, big up Arsenal agenda. I have faith there will be a transfer for Arsenal. I smell Mendes and it seems like he's working on Arsenal. But at this moment, he is busy with Ronaldo. In the last 48 hours, the club will be very active. It will be a Mendes player. Neto will not. Bellerin will definitely, we've seen that already, will definitely leave. There will be at least one transfer on Neto. Wolves are working the transfer at the moment. That will be a difference maker for Neto. From the people I have spoken with, I think there's confidence in this deal happening. Again, dreams are free. The hustle is sold separately. Some things have denied the Telemans transfer, such as the Mendes deal. I would imagine there's a chance that Arsenal have spoken about worst-case scenarios with Yuri regarding January or the summer. Man United and Liverpool wanted Telemans, but he hasn't moved yet. But the things that have changed for Arsenal at the moment is Mendes deal, which is basically that if you take Fabio Vieira, I'll give you a winger. Who said working with agents is bad? Arsenal will be active in the last week and it's going to be very exciting. Ainsley won't be the difference in the Telemans deal. It will need to be Sambi as well, but it's highly unlikely. Let's see what's going on there. And obviously Asensio has just hired Mendes, so that could be something. Once again, Arsenal fans can expect their club to be busy in the next few days as we approach the end of the window, according to Fabrizio Romano. Yes, Arsenal will try to find the right opportunity with Edu and Mikel busy in the next few hours and days. So we'll have to see how that one develops as well, people. I forgot to say, but don't forget, it's watch along business tomorrow, people. So yeah, you lot can set your reminders and smash the like button on that one from earlier as well. Shameless. Forgot to promote that. Shout out to 2 people. 1, including myself, who smash that like button. Come on. But where were we? Yeah, we can expect us to be busy. There's no movement or bid for Yeremy Pino as of now. Villarreal are hoping to keep him. For Pedro now, it's up to Arsenal if they want to try, but it's not an easy one as Wolves want a bid of more than 50 million. Arsenal have left it a little late, but we're focused on outgoing such as Pepe. As I said earlier in the summer, though they had been looking for alternatives, it won't be easy, but let's see what happens in the next few days. Let's see. We've also been linked with Griezmann, people. Antoine Griezmann, which I don't buy at all. Obviously, the bulk of that has to be because it seems like Atletico Madrid want to do the Bandulu to Barcelona and not give them the money they own. That 31 years of age is a myth, man. There's a wealth of experience. It's a myth, you know, and he'll arrive not even the fittest. He could be used in the squad, but he won't be the fittest. He's played, you know, he's not played that much really. He's not a starting guy anymore, and now you can see as well on the topic of playing time, if Griezmann plays more than 30 games in at least half of Atletico's games this season, they'll have to pay 31.4 million. They're not on it, whether it's because of finances or whatever. I mean, he has scored this campaign, but he looks like he's declining, Griezmann. Arsenal never in target Shakhtar, the next winger, Mikhailo Mudryk, which we've been hearing already. We don't value him at 35 million allegedly, so we have to see. We've just spoken with his middlemen, and Brentford were close to signing him, but it didn't happen. Real Madrid still have not received an offer from Marcus Asensio, so he can continue to be linked with, you know, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, or Milan, but no offers have been put down. You know, it mentions our case of wanting Pedro Neto as well. So we'll have to see. Google Translate, you're going to help me out here, man? The winter market. I'm trying to scroll the way down. Arsenal is one of the teams most interested in his signing. The English team, aware of the French player's difficult situation, is willing to sign him in December. Also driven by his great start in the Premier with 4 wins. I'm not too sure on any of that. But yeah, obviously, shout out Lucas Paqueta and West Ham. They've signed a good player. It seemed like he was just trying to go some indirect. So if you're an Arsenal fan, this could be some comfort for you, you know, really. It's unfortunate that Paqueta is leaving, but he wanted to leave. We thought we'd have very big clubs come in. We didn't have them. We were forced to speak at the last minute with West Ham. So everybody's interested, but no one came forward. Tottenham were offered him, didn't do nothing. City, it was hinging on Bernardo Silva. Edu and Arteta have never hidden their admiration for. I told you, look, apart from Arsenal fans, including myself, wanting Paqueta, there was nothing there. It's like with Basuma, where right now, Lokonga's there, Elneny's there, who signed a new deal on PARTEY. You knew we weren't going to decision, which it should have been the right one to go and get, really, but it didn't happen. What I would say is, you know, Xhaka and PARTEY, they're 29, turning 30. They're not done yet. But in terms of forward thinking, there must be a whiteboard like we saw in All or Nothing with, let's say, the 6th position and the centre mid in Xhaka's case, and it's got people in the squad below them, and has it got long-term targets? Because you've got to want to move on from that anyways at some point. So we must have been scouting some number 6s or something. Maybe not the biggest of profile in football, but everyone's got to start somewhere in it, really. As we know, you know, Pepe gave some of his wages up to go for Denise. He's not fully fit, but it seems like Lucien Favre is disappointed with his performance, as he should be, in everyone if they lost 3-0. He hasn't played for a long time in England. He has done the pre-season with Arsenal, but he hasn't played any matches. He's lacking a bit of rhythm, intensity in his placement, in his pressing as well, and in his ball recovery, because everyone has to do that. There aren't any exceptions. If 1 or 2 players don't do the work, the whole team is in trouble. Everyone has to do it at the same time. Everyone has to defend to recover the ball. We already discussed this internally. Tiredness was there. We had extra time. There are players who ran 17 km. I understand their fatigue, but we cannot put that as an explanation for our tiredness. We have to be ready, be professional. Ball recovery is essential in all professional sports. You're right, still. And this is all irrelevant, people, but, you know, Douglas Luiz, who we were linked with, apparently Juventus want to move for him. I don't know what's happened with signing Paredes from PSG, another player we could do with. You know, we should have signed him when he was at Zenit. I mean, Aouar could be going Benfica. I know I've given up on signing Aouar. I don't think Arsenal need him, but if it happened, I'd be happy. We've already got that. And obviously Fabio Ruiz, which was the one I really wanted, but again, dream chasing. He looked set to, you know, for properly signed for PSG. So that's a myth. What's going on here with Arsenal news? Bro, boy, United have agreed £84 million deal for Elneny. Elneny did all he could to get that move. You've got it now, innit? Colin Hudson-Odoi has completed his move to Bayern Leverkusen. Chelsea have expressed an interest in Wilfried Zaha. Boy, Harry Winks to Sampdoria. I thought they tried to tell us he could play in the Spain squad. Regular guy in Atletico, crazy. Willian to sign for Fulham, London scared. Ziyech is going Ajax. Milinkovic-Savic's agent has spoken out. If miracles do not happen in these last 3 days, he will stay at Lazio. Until then, time will tell. This summer, no club was ready to pay what Lazio president Lotito asked for, so I think the situation won't change. Everyone at Juventus loves him. We have talked about him often in the past, but the reality at the moment is that Sergi's project is too expensive for them. They were clear and correct. So again, he's been priced out of moves. Conor Gallagher's just, bro, you got savaged against Leeds, you got yourself sent off. He's having a tough time. His return over them sides, innit, people? This is just some crazy story about blackmailing and things. But yeah, man. Apparently, Arsenal explore late transfer deal for, oh, well, this is the same. It's going to link us with Mudryk again. So yeah, that ends that part of the thing, people, really and truly. So we'll have to see. And you can imagine we're going to, in the next couple of, well, we ain't got long, but in the next hours or so, until the end of the window, we're going to get aggressively linked with just about any midfielder out there, in my opinion, people. If I'm completely honest with you. Big up you lot for hitting the like button. Keep running it up. It is what it is. We need 2 additional players now more than ever. A centre mid and 2 wingers. I can't lie. If you offer me 2 centre mids and no winger right now, I'll probably take it. People were complaining about Elneny during the Fulham game. Don't get me wrong. He's not the best in that position, but he does a job. You know what to expect from him. But now we're kind of stuck without him. And that's the issue. That's the issue. The very fact that we're talking about missing, which is listen, big up Elneny. I agree with what you said. But if we cut the crap, he's a marginalized player. It should be, oh God, Elneny's injured. Boom, like these things are happening. It shouldn't really be affecting, like, respectfully, if Cedric gets injured. No, I don't want anyone to get injured, but Cedric getting injured shouldn't affect this thing. I shouldn't be scared if I hear Ben White, if I hear Tomiyasu, if I hear these sort of names there, then I'm like, oh, what's going on here? We're missing a marginalized player. I like Granit Xhaka. Whether you like him or loathe him, the team, and think we could upgrade, the team clicks through him. If he gets injured, there's issues. If PARTEY gets injured, there's issues. If we're at the point where Elneny getting injured, we're kind of scared, even with the luxury of Lokonga, what we might do in the transfer market, what we won't do in the transfer market, and all of these things. That tells you everything, really. You know, even though I'm a fan of Granit Xhaka more than I think he's you know, I'm more of I feel more in line with someone who likes Xhaka than not. But the very fact that the team ticks through him is testament to him. But these are not players that, if you want to go and be a top 4 team, they can be part of the squad, they can be relied upon somewhat, but they cannot be the heartbeat, which he is at this moment in time. I didn't say indeed he's not a bad player. I just don't think he's worth all the hype. I'd rather spend the bag on Nevers than that. Telemans would be a good player, man. I'm sorry, but this situation was bound to happen. Partey is a crock. We always need another centre mid and DM anyway. We will panic by the right players, man. McGinn from Villa wouldn't be a bad shout. Wouldn't cost too much either. He probably costs a pretty penny. Partey is real harsh. Partey is part-time, the latest in a regular line of Arsenal sick note use. How we thought to rely on him being around is a madness. Him being a sick note is not our only worry. Pardon me. Why did we let Pepe and Oba go for free? Who is responsible for that? I don't think we let Pepe go for free. He's still contracted, but he's on loan, okay. Surely if you got 65 million for Rafinha, you got 50 million for Neto. I'd be implored to believe it. I reckon they'll fast track Marquinhos and Vieira for right wing / left wing for a centre mid. Boy, Lokonga started then. Boy, he's going to have to, innit? And for Lokonga, you say you want to play, go and lock it down. Make sure no one can take that spot from you. Why didn't we go for Casemiro? Listen, big up Man United, but Arsenal don't have the facilities to pay 300 grand odd plus a week for a 30-year-old Casemiro. You know, as great as he is, we ain't got the facilities for that, really. If his stuff was more in line with what Partey's probably on or people of that ilk, maybe the club would have entertained it. But he's getting the bag, man. Yeah. I wouldn't say we're close, but he seems decent, isn't it? Also, any chance in the meantime, Ben White gets moved to 6 and Tomiyasu gets a start at right back, bro, you're going to have to fix it internally. Well, obviously, there's not going to be any like-for-like changes like where Elneny and Partey is. You could probably say Lokonga, and even that's subjective. So you're going to have to find a tweak, whether Ben White goes into midfield and further displays versatility, whether, you know, whatever you do with Fabio Vieira, Odegaard, Zinchenko, Smith Rowe, whatever you do, switch into a back three and maybe just getting more bodies in there and whatnot. I don't know. But it's something that Arteta has to consider, really and truly. You've seen it enough. This is you're rocking up into your third season now, so it's getting a bit, yeah, really. Money's been spent as well. More money. Well, I don't know about now, but we spent a lot of money last year. We spent a good portion of money this year and counting. So, man, I'm gonna have to fix it up. Like, it comes with the territory, as Arteta knows this himself. Really. So whatever he does, as harsh as it is, that's your business. You knew what this thing was. Is what I don't want to hear is excuses. I don't want to hear excuses. The only thing that there should be is solutions. There shouldn't be no excuses, because this is the bed we made ourselves, man. Are we gonna get Yuri? I don't know, bro. And then they should be no better than our 8th best midfielder. Let's stop messing about and get Milinkovic Savic for 65 million. You know you're not going to get Milinkovic Savic for 65 million. You know the club ain't going to spend 60, 70, 80 on Neves. We know this. Deluded is back in the building. My guy took a vacation and was getting lit at carnival rate and Nef settings. Big up. I don't know about that, but shout out you, my dude. Tenali would be a baller. DG, if you were recruiting, what moves would you make in the next 48 hours? I'd see, get Telemans over the line, see what Douglas Luiz, whatever his name is at Villa, see what could be done there. Quality Cranial looks decent. DG ranked these defenders from best to worst. At the aspect of defending, I think that's harsh to Zinchenko, because I think all of them are... At the aspect of defending, Tierney, Tomiyasu, / Saliba, them men are top 3. Gabriel's not far behind them. I don't know. It all depends, man. I think Tomiyasu and Tierney are better readers of the game. I think Gabriel's more instinctive defending. I think Saliba's a bit of the both, and he's up there. I would say I think Zinchenko and Ben White would be below the other 4 purely because they don't think, nothing to do with them. They can defend, but they're not. Their strengths, I feel, are more going forward. And Zinchenko is a makeshift defender. He's not he's not that him by nature sort of thing. I think it could work, and we could do a lot worse. You're gonna have to, innit? Really. I'd be for United. I'd be eyeing up a back 3, really. But boy, Sambi looked scared of the ball last season, like he's hiding from the ball. We need to do it as soon as possible. Otherwise, they're going to raise the Telemans fee. I mean, then he's bossing out. It's too late now. Arsenal will not sign another good player, and we'll bottle it at the end of the window. More optimism, man. Tierney over White, yeah. At the aspect of being a defender, yeah. Yo, DG, hope you're good. I saw you in Westfield on Friday. Big up yourself, my guy. You saw me going to get some pre-carnival stuff. Appreciate that, my guy. Got a feeling we'll get Melo on loan. I mean, that has to be the backup option, isn't it? That seems like that's an ace that's always been there. It seems like it could be done, and we're getting there. At the aspect of defending, actually reading the game, Tomiyasu and Tierney and Saliba, they're all there. Tomiyasu, Tierney, aspect of defending, reading a game, understanding what defending is, definitely there. Definitely there. Understanding what defending is, definitely there. Let's not talk nonsense about Kieran Tierney. You know, who was the only 2 players in the first half when the whole of Fulham who did nothing, they broke. He was the only 2 players there. Odegaard was one of them. Who's the other? Tierney. One of the first corners they had when everyone fell off. Who was there? Tierney. Do I think Tierney's perfect? Of course not. And there's obviously a degree of bias, but you cannot say Tierney at the aspect of defending, like what a defender is. Him, Saliba, Tomiyasu, they're all top bracket within that Arsenal team. Understanding what defending is in the same way in terms of footballing IQ, Odegaard is up there in this team. I might Zinchenko is up there. I might shock people. Granit Xhaka is up there in this team. So yeah, understanding what actual defending is, not match of the day, little highlights and slide tackling, understanding the whole 90 minutes, organization, when to tuck in, when to stop the cross, when to step, when to call for backup, reading the game, smelling it before it's happened. If man are talking about that level of defending where respectfully you need a certain sort of eye to see that shit, let's stop. Let's not do that. Please. Good question though, man. Great question. So yeah, it is what it is, man, in that regards. Gabby, I like him as well. DG, are you concerned with little Chili's form so far? No, the goals will come. Obviously, if it doesn't, we'll revisit the situation. But I think he was quite good against Fulham. Couple of nervy moments, should have scored, but I actually feel he was good. I think the goals will come. I think Saka will be all right, man. I mean, I've already answered this. I mean, you could do a lot worse. It all depends on Ben White's level of reading the anticipation of the game in midfield. Really, you can pass the ball. I would like to see a back three. I don't really want to see Ben White. If we played in the same formation we did, and let's just say Xhaka's in there, Partey's out, I don't really want to see that. But run it. Really, like you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse than what we're seeing. You could do it, or what we have at this moment. I rate this window of 4 no better than last season. A bit harsh. Zinchenko and Jesus definitely make it better than last year. If I'm completely honest with you, they've risen the bar, but again, you're gonna drop that. You're either gonna elevate or you're gonna drop down to your team's level. Without Jesus and Partey, we're in problems. Yep. I trust Sambi. If Eddie can improve massively, so can Sambi. Just needs to run the games where you're gonna get. I trust Sambi, but what I trust more is Arsenal need to get top 4. As I always say, the collective has to come first. If it was up to me, Lokonga, you play every minute to try and develop. All these young G's would. But we can't have it both ways. We can't play every young player, remain competitive, keep taking points. I think he's a baller. He's going to have another chance, man. But he's going to have to get it, man. Wasn't Man City after Tierney that tells you what you need to learn. To be fair, paper talk, man. Arsenal definitely needs Telemans and Neto to guarantee Europa League and stay in that top 4 for Champions League. Bro, you can sign Lionel Messi. It's not that. Nothing is guaranteed. It does make our chances stronger, but nothing is guaranteed. There's no guarantees. It's about, you get these players, but it's about their ability to apply themselves and be consistent over 38 games. It's how good you are at your worst. Have Man City necessarily in their last few games been their best? If you can't win, don't lose. Sometimes you need to win games you have no right winning. City do that. And 9 times out, obviously you barely see it because they're amazing for 30 games. You just blitz inside and then it is what it is. But you get the point. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, man, a human. He's going to show them inside sometimes. You defending, you can't stop them all the time. Zinchenko's not even there half the time. It's going to happen. Like, people are going to get past you, You can't always show them on the outside. A lot of defending is about being reactive. Sometimes some defending is actually letting a player do what they want, like Mahrez and Salah. You can't necessarily lock them down. Sometimes you have to guide them in situations. Let's stop cherry picking all of these players. We could do that with Zinchenko, with Gabriel, with this, with that. Come on now. I guarantee you go and ask Arteta who has the highest level of defending within that squad. Tomiyasu and Tierney are going to score quite high. Saliba is not going to be far behind them. Gabriel wouldn't be far behind them either. But what lets Gabriel down? The 3 that I've said firstly, them and they are more proactive. Gabriel's very reactive. That's why he's still got that bozo gene in him. My man's voice is out. Hope you enjoyed the convoy. Yeah, man. Without Partey, we aren't the same team, DG. A blind man could see that. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to get on with it, innit? Really? When you beat United at home, did you have Tomiyasu, Partey or Tierney? And I don't think you can. That's a dangerous example, but you have to get on with it. Sign the players. If not, keep it moving. It is what it is. Statistically, last season, it was Tommy who won the most duels. Who's that? I don't know who that is, bro. I'm alive and enjoying my freedom. I don't know who that is. If I start calling you C and B, I don't know who that is, my guy. I'm enjoying my freedom. Last time I checked, I could leave my yard and walk to the shop. I am not doing no 23-hour banger. So I don't know who that is. But take that question to the nearest possible party, my guy. I don't know about that. I don't know who that is. You're on your days with that one. But anyways, can't lie, people. It's only right that we obviously talk about the game yesterday. Well, I say yesterday, this ain't not bugging. Saturday. Right. Boy, and it is what it is. Let me make a timestamp there, man. Where's my thoughts on the game? Obviously, I would say the first thing with that game is we got the 3 points. We keep the run going. We're doing what we need to do. I do think the first half against Fulham, we should have wrapped them. It should have been wrapped. We had everyone in their half. We was pressing intensively. Good transitions from back to front. I think when it was getting to the final third, things were breaking down. Things didn't quite have that. Things didn't quite have that quality in the final third to really test Leno. There were a couple of occasions, like there was one where I think Odegaard's found Jesus. I think Jesus has taken a touch. I thought he was gonna bang it. He tried to play someone and it didn't work. There's one time Saka got played in, he didn't quite score. I just think the only thing that was lacking was that final third. And when you look at Fulham in the second half, that first 10 minutes of the second half, went and scored. We've seen that in the Premier League. That's what it's about. This is why you need to finish off your dinner, because that could have been a consolation goal and whatnot. At worst came to worst. Either way, sometimes we've seen Arsenal play like that, lose 1-0. That's that in it, people. So we need to learn to smell blood a bit more. And I do think, as good as we've been in these 4 games, when I look at beyond the first 25 half an hour against Crystal Palace, first game of the season, when I look at defensively against Leicester, when I look at against Bournemouth, not that we had any questions, but definitely 3 of the 4 games, Leicester defensively, Crystal Palace, and obviously Fulham, not capitalizing in the first half, having that game management to go and get that goal. The 10-minute stage in the second half, I feel these are things that we've got to take little bits and pieces and do the better against Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Spurs, etc. And just as we keep going, people, really. Fulham were just there on a time wasting thing. They were time wasting. They were trying to be rigid. They were kicking players. You saw Jesus blown out at Bologna. You know, they were trying whatever they could to disrupt the rhythm. There's no disrespect. We would do the same if we was in their shoes, same way, people. We should have killed the game in the first half. As I said, people, Ramsdale had effort to do, bar the occasional collecting from a corner. Good connections all over the field. Lovely passing, just letting ourselves down in the final third, really and truly. Saliba doing his thing. Elite time wasting from Fulham, as I said, people, really, you know, like elite time wasting from them. Where's my other notes? So yeah, man, I feel we had a very good first 20 minutes. As I said, very good first half. As I said, the pressing, we lack cutting edge, but the fast start, the pressing, the intensity, the fans, they're making bare noise. I just wish we had a bit more quality, because I do think within the first 10 minutes, you could have scored 3-4. That ending the game in the first half, we should have been 3-4 up, really. Jesus, Odegaard especially, cooking, Martinelli switched on, Saka doing well. It's just the final third quality isn't there. We're doing everything right apart from that. But in football, you need to do everything right, really and truly. You know, we're getting numbers forward as well. So Odegaard, I have to say it again, looked very sharp, as did Jesus in particular for me. Odegaard and Saka's link-up play was quite good, really, if I'm honest with you. You could see Mitrovic peeling over to the right-hand side as well. So I don't know if somebody said that. I'm not going to lie, I was looking and Tini weren't playing bad, but because of the way they're set up, I was just thinking, boy, if we had Zinchenko just... You know, and he goes on amazing midfield adventures from fullback. Him and Xhaka chaperone each other. I think that would have given us another gear, but he weren't there in it, really and truly. And yeah, man, it would have been perfect, because, as I said, we should have probably just scored. Especially, I feel Xhaka had a good chance, Saka had a good chance, and there was a couple of half-hearted other efforts as well, people. So going into halftime, I think we're doing everything perfect apart from scoring. And if you don't score, you don't win the game, innit? So big up Eddie Nketiah, because when he came off the bench, I feel he should have scored, and he's got them finishes were a bit baby for you than you should. But I think he brought something when we went to a back 3 in the second half. People always get onto Arteta about changes. He made that change immediately, and then we almost instantly got back into the game via Odegaard's deflected effort, which was fantastic play from Ramsdale, Saliba, Ben White. Actually, Saka got the assist technically, but if you go and look at in the build-up play, go watch the goal again from a certain angle. You can see Odegaard orchestrating where he wants the ball to be played, and you can see the run he makes. The man's so intelligent, people. It was like 7-8 passes before Saka's driving run, but we got ourselves back in the game after that bozo moment from Gabriel. He'd have to tell you what he's doing, innit? One thing I did like is Gabriel and the team, we picked our heads up, but that tells you we still have these brain farts. They still have these brain farts, and collectively, it's Gabriel 1 week. It might, Saliba, Ramsdale against Leicester, even though that was shown in the game in many stages. There's a couple of brain farts, and we need to aspire to remain a bit focused, that bit more, really and truly. So, yeah, man, they always get on to Arteta for not making fast subs. He brought on Eddie Nketiah. I think Eddie Nketiah is just getting around, man, just putting himself about, being tenacious. The only thing I could say is, Eddie, you're better than that. You could have scored 2 goals, really, and I have to start judging you a bit harsher now. You're a Premier League striker now. You're not a Haaland boy. You did your thing, but on the other hand, you got a bag, because if Jesus doesn't score them chances, I'm looking at Jesus and going, "Rah, bro, what's all that about?" Have to have high standards, man. But obviously, Set Piece FC came to the rescue. Nice to see a bit of redemption for Gabriel, as someone who's conceded a penalty and then scored the winner in a cup in Sunday League. I know how it feels to somewhat save your bacon in that. Lovely to see Saliba fighting. Lovely to see VAR try to shag us, but he's calm. Is what it is, man. And then ending thoughts. We made it harder than it needed to be. We made the scoreline more reflective than it needed to be. And I told you this would be a tricky one, really. I feel we should have scored 3-4. The goal difference should be even clearer. I'm happy with the insurance policy going into Aston Villa, especially with these injuries. Every test, whether we've done it or not, we've got over the line. That's cool. Hopefully we can beat Villa and have a perfect August, really. And, that's 4 games played now. Arteta said we'll start looking at the table and seeing our level after 10, 12 games. We're getting there, innit? 1 more game this month, win it, give yourself the insurance policy going into September. October is brazy. Obviously, we've got Old Trafford away, and they've put 2 wins on the bounce. And obviously, when you lose 2 games for any big club, it's the worst thing ever. Neither it's the best thing ever right now, really. So we're going to just need to adapt to our level. As I said, there's elements from the Leicester game, definitely elements the first 10 minutes of that second half, when they scored. The first 45 minutes, from us against Crystal Palace, apart from the minute 25, apart from the Bournemouth game, I think there's something we could take from everything. Bournemouth didn't offer us nothing, really. Maybe certain things internally, but I think we could have done a lot better. But other than that, got wins on the board, keep the good form going. Lovely to see us still continue the Set Piece FC stuff. I did think at times in the second half, players were losing a bit of discipline, and everyone's trying to get the winner, but we're trying to do this indisciplined thing. Everyone's just trying to, again, Martinelli's my guy. I think he did well, but everyone's just trying to do some individual wavy stuff. We just needed to keep and be the talisman, which I like to see people stand up to be counted, but I just feel we needed to be a bit more mature within that regards. But who cares, man? We beat Fulham, another London derby win, 4 wins on the spin. We keep moving, innit? And just keep moving. That's all I can say on that game, really, really and truly, to be completely honest with you. Not sure about a 6, but I don't mind that. You see, it's bait. Strong interest in the last hours about Arsenal for Paredes, but the player, as explained by Galtier, wants Juventus decisive hours. I mean, he's a player that's half the way out. So you can see why you're linked with him. How many more wins on the bounce do we need before we are title challengers? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not looking at Arsenal to win no league. And White to replace, isn't he? Love for the super chat, my bro. DG, people are saying we might struggle a bit once the cup competition start. Do you think our so-called second team can get a result in the FA Cup, Europa, etc.? Football's a funny old game, and with the exception of Brighton, you never know. But I definitely feel in the early rounds, to a degree, whatever team you should be putting out should do their thing. Like whatever team goes out in Europa League in the group stages, they should make sure they've qualified for the group. The FA Cup the same. Now, evidently, as you start getting on in these competitions, I always believe playing your best players. So we'll have to see. Really, if I'm honest. Yo, the real thing we need to talk about is why Bellerin is still at our club. I just got no breath left in me to be speaking about guys like that, if I'm completely honest with you. It's calm, man. It's calm. Whole damn life, bro. Same old Arsenal, get your hopes up, then nothing. Seen it for years. Keep going on about a winger we don't need. We've had trouble with centre mid for years, etc. Unpopular opinion, you can need a winger and a midfield. Bring up the Aussies. I think Sambi can step up. He's gonna have to, man. Yuri almost done. I don't know until you see him holding the shirt, bro. Don't assume nothing's done. Pedro Neto will also be done, I guess. I hope so, bro. I hope so. I really hope so. We released Oba. Why are we wasting time on Heki? Listen, I don't know what to be said about. There's just certain guys. Listen, big up Bellerin, but he's just not someone I really want to waste breath on. If I'm completely honest with you, like it's long, bro. It's like asking me to talk about Cedric and Pablo Marie and these guys. They're shit guys. Pardon my language, but respectfully, they're just not good. I'm not on it at all. If I'm completely honest with you, like it's long. What's the point, lad? What was I gonna read? Can't remember what we was meant to do here, people. Oh yeah, that's it. Let's see what the gaffer and everyone's had to say, people, about that Fulham game, because obviously I haven't read what he's had to say. Every word Mikel said. On the match, he said, I'm really happy with the performance, with the attitude and mentality that the team showed. I think we're on top of the game. So it was about being patient and the goal would come because we deserved that. We had to avoid mistakes. We made an error and it cost us a goal. But even though that happened, I think the team showed that against adversity, and Gabby individually, how we continue to play with the supporters and with the support that we have in the stadium now, it makes things much easier and the team deserves to win. It's as simple as that. On the reaction, he said, it's just the reaction of everybody after the goal. Straight away, the stadium just gives support to the player, gives belief, and then the player has to show courage to continue playing. This is part of football. Exactly. Mistakes happen, bro. Everyone makes mistakes. It's how you react. Is if you make the same mistake several times, are you learning? The mistake now becomes a choice. But mistakes happen. You should never get onto footballers for making a mistake. It happens, man. Mistakes are part of it, and it's going to continue to happen. Amen. Especially with this volatile squad. But it's how you respond to that. And I'm really pleased. It's not a coincidence with Gabby, because the way he's changed his mentality and the way he approaches every single day is different to a year or two ago. I ain't gonna lie, you're my guy, Gabriel, but you're getting on a bit to be making these sort of mistakes as frequent as you do, man. I would like to. I like Gabriel. He's aggressive. He's left-footed. I just think I wish I could sprinkle some of that calm approach that Saliba kind of has with his game and stuff. And just Saliba's gonna have brain farts. He has already in it, but just sprinkle some of that on you, and you'd be more polished out. On if the error shouldn't have been allowed to happen, that's clear. I mean, it is. On the changes, the way he looks after himself, that is the most important thing in his life, apart from his little daughter and his family, and how consistent he is every day in his habits and how much he wants to become one of the best. On our response to going to go down, we have grown up. We have more alternatives. I do like how we've reacted to adversity, but I need to see that. Crystal Palace is good, but for me, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Southampton, Old Trafford, Goodison Park, 2 of them games I just said there, we dropped points from winning positions. Stamford Bridge, there's still a lot of tests. So the adversity that's been thrown our way with the 4 games, fair enough, we've done our thing. But I'd be wary of, again, you work with the players, Arteta. They're your guys, in it. Well, all of them are there. Everyone statistically is in the workplace more than they're with their family, some more than others. But to me as a fan, I do think we're growing up. I wouldn't quite say we've grown up yet. I need to see that. But yeah, man, he's spoken about the drive the fans get and whatnot. We know we've got a good connection with the fans. Again, Odegaard influence, and in difficult moments take the ball and make things happen, and that's what he's done. Odegaard done well. Ramsdale's also delighted with our aggressive attitude. I think we found a lot of times last season that we stood up for ourselves. I remember going to Burnley and winning 1-0 and standing up to an onslaught. But you had Saliba into the back four who's a big boy. Ben White right back and Tomiyasu then coming on. You've got a back 4 where each of them is 6'3". It's not that we're lacking in that area. It's just about the love of defending. It's not necessarily thinking I'm just not going to get bullied. It's I'm not going to concede a goal. I think I made a save, then the ball stayed out of the back of the net because White threw his body in front of it. So that's testament to the defenders. There's a lot of different aggression you can show. You can show it in tackles, winning your headers and drills, but also pressing. I think we press all the way through games, not just in spells in the first half. And if we don't get that goal, then we sit off. If the game fits going long, we will try and adapt. If not just going to play one, and we're not just going to play one-dimensional. We came back into the game passing the ball the way we wanted to do from minute 0 to 95. I think Fulham allowed us to play because they brought on Diop and they had the big boys at the back, and Leno was catching crosses for fun. So we focused on short play around the box, and it paid off. Big up him. He then said the fans are unbelievable. Saliba scored an own goal. They were chanting his name. They bigged up Gabriel. And he said, I've had a laugh and joke with the centre-backs. One own goal and a mistake that each, and a goal each for the pair of them. I've said no more of this, to be fair. Saliba's goal of the season contender, Gabriel. That's what football's about, the ecstasy of scoring and things like that. Crazy, man. This is the loudest I've heard the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, it helps that we're winning on the pitch, but it's in the times of struggle within the game that they're coming to our aid and helping us, and it really does lift us. Hopefully, we can carry on winning these games at home and make it a fortress. Come on. Ben White was impressed with the spirit shown as well, people. He said, with Fulham, you always have a physical game. You know they've got a big boy up top, and he's hard to handle, but the boys did well, which is true. He said, I think the attitude and desire we all have every day in training is showing on the pitch now. Big up Benjamin White and Ramsdale and also the gaffer. So, yeah, man, we're dealing with what we need to deal with, really. 4 games in, 34 more games to go. Let's not draw any conclusions. There's going to be many bumps and bruises, twists and turns, but so far, so good where Arsenal are concerned, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Watch along, set your reminders, hit the like button, do all of that sort of stuff. Is what it is. Elneny can be a blessing in disguise, might end up getting Euro. I see the logic, but if it takes someone to get injured, then it's an issue. Bro, I've already got onto the celebration police, honestly. They can suck out. For any clubs, people can be excited if they've won a game. Isolated to that 90 minutes. If man coming from behind in a losing position, keep the winning run going. Come on now, let's move, man. Let's move, man. It's just stupidness. It looks like Partey's out for a minute, man. From Guendouzi to Sambi, massive downgrade, boy. I hope we sign a midfielder, but I don't know, man. I'm like you, look, I don't have a clue. I hope we sign a midfielder. If we don't, we have to just be able to react and deal with it, really. It's as simple as that. If I'm honest with you, there's literally nothing else we can do, man. Don't spam my bro, please. We can get away with Xhaka, Zinchenko, and Odegaard in midfield versus Villa, but versus United, we need to have a player like Telemans or Caicedo from Brighton in there. Boy, don't think you can get away with it in any game, but I hear you. If you are to try it against someone, you might as well try it against them. But, boy, Maitland-Niles is... It would be nice to have a third striker. Welcome, young Sambi. Show your talent and fight for our club. Yuri and Zaha will be enough for Arsenal. I hope so. No clue what you're saying there, but yeah, man. I said this before, a ball was kicked this season. If it ain't if Partey gets injured, it's when, and he has lasted 3 games. Can't Edu see what is going to happen, boy. Boy, I think you got to give Edu some credit for the window we've had, to be fair. And in the last 2 windows, I don't know who's on what. I don't know what we're going to do. I just know we need to get something going, man. But with that being said, though, man, I'm sure a lot of you are tired of hearing my croaky voice, so I'm going to allow you lot. I'm going to be back tomorrow, people. As you know, it's Arsenal versus Aston Villa. I think it's Man United Leicester on Thursday. I'll definitely do a watch along for that. So yeah, make sure you're following on Twitch and YouTube. You're setting your reminders. You're hitting the notifications. Appreciative to all of you lot who have been here. You've offered your talking points. You've made sure we stayed up to date with the news. You've asked questions. We've looked at the transfer news together. You just simply commenting, hitting the like button. Make sure you're checking out the description and you're following me on all my socials. You lot stay blessed, stay safe, have a great week. I'm going to eat some food now and obviously just get back in the working week now because carnival is over. It's time to switch on. You lot stay blessed, man. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like there's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like